What's up, everybody? Monkey Puzzle here, and this is going to be episode number 13 of playing on the IronMine Olympus modded server. So having a lot of fun on here. Definitely been distracted by this whole modded land for a while, and I've been wanting to follow through with a modded series anyway, so this is the one. And yeah, I'm still wearing my dillo mask from the archaeology event, trying to match my armor to it a little bit more. I got some oranges in there now. I think this is actually a deeper orange, but I don't know if I want to go that deep orange anyway. But yeah, I can't seem to get myself out of the habit of picking these fossils up. I should at this point because, oh my god, I don't know what else I'm going to do with them. Toves was nice enough. While I was logged off, he left me a box and a sign here, and he left me 195 bones. Thank you very much, Toves, for that. And I've got about 100 more on my own. Need to make something else with those, but we did that in the past. We made the Stygi Moloch costume, wherever my Stygi Moloch is. No, wait, which is which? I forget. Gosh. I think this is the Stygi Moloch. Oh yeah, and the other one's the Styracosaurus, and that's over on a trike over there on my dinos that are wandering around on Dino Patrol. Kind of see them from over here. They're all over there where we had the base parked. And then this here, this is not the archaeology event. This is a water elevator prototype proof of concept I made during the stream using the water block mod. And if you don't know anything about the water block mod, I have a little episode I'll link here where I did some testing on it and trying to make it so that rafts won't glitch out on it. And there's been some changes to it since. The mod author tried to give it some better snapping behavior. I don't know if he entirely succeeded, but let's play with it for a second. I want to see if I can make this water elevator twice as high. Oh, and these things are grinding away. I've got my steampunk drills. They're quite noisy, but quite lucrative. I've got 3 of them going now, which is keeping me just stocked with metal and stuff and crystal and stone and all the different products that you can derive from those. So, yeah, today, this episode, if I haven't said it clearly before, I'm talking about everything else, but in my usual style, is I want to focus on getting a good start on this base here. Time's ticking away. I need a base. This raft is just overloaded, and I can't do much else until I have some more space. Oh, and these guys, I logged on yesterday, and there was a 300 male and a 300 female Anki, like, just right there. So, of course, I had to tame them, and then I've been breeding them and stuff for eggs. But anyway, first thing we're going to do is I want to see if I can make this twice as high, because that's kind of high and floating, but not really quite high enough. I wanted to demonstrate real quick the snapping behavior that the mod author added recently. So, if we grab some of these water blocks, here's one that's 1 high, and here's some that are 12 high. So they added this thing where previously when I was trying to snap, they would snap halfway through a ceiling. Now they seem to mainly want to snap underneath ceilings. There are some other spots you can kind of find, like on top at weird places on them, but those seem more difficult. These ones seem to be the easiest. Now if it's a block that's higher than 1 high, like this 12 high I'm holding, it still seems to want to snap. Oh, look, there's a little up and down there. Oh, and if I get a little further away, what does that do? Okay, so I do get a little bit of playing with it. But anyway, I can snap it like that, and actually that's pretty even. So the multi-block ones that are more than 1 high still seem to want to snap below a ceiling with 1 block worth of themselves underneath. And then you can go ahead, look, I can float in here. You can go ahead and you can pick up these ceilings and the blocks will stay there. And so that's pretty cool. We can go ahead and pick this one up, and then you can swim all the way up there. You can see my oxygen is flashing. I am wearing the steampunk goggles underneath this dillo mask, so I can breathe. But there we go. These things are too cool. And we're not too worried that they don't make sense at all. Whee! Let's see if I can get the water. The one thing I don't like about them, if you saw when I was going back down, is there is a glitch when you come out of them, sometimes graphically they still think you're in the water. Let's see, come up here. And yeah, all the rocks are still black like that. So that bugs me, but there could be other ways to get up here too. I still have to do this because I've come this far with it. Let's jump in the water real quick. Get my graphics fixed again. And one thing before we start is one other little preparation I have been doing for this is over on this side. I've just been throwing down a lot of the different pieces from the different building mods just to kind of see what they look like. There's so many pieces I need to learn. This is the masonry tier from Castles, Keeps, and Forts. I have played around with this a little bit. I was just looking at different shapes of things. And then this is a scaffolding tier that comes with it. So it's all wood-based. I see this one is the settler tier. And over here we have the villager tier. So just looking at the different textures and the colors and the shapes. There's these nice palisade walls and gates that come with it. And you don't need a foundation to put those down. So that would be pretty cool if those actually worked as fences. But apparently Rexes just basically ignore them and walk over them. And then over here, let me see, over here, I was just throwing down some of the pieces from the steampunk mod and trying to learn the different parts of it and what they look like, the various textures and things available with that. I love these copper pipe walls. And then in this spot, I was messing around a little bit to see how they combine. You can see the Castles Keeps walls and the steampunk and then the vanilla size walls. These are not vanilla, these are S+. Do not match up vertically, which is going to be a little tricky if I'm going to use all these. And they do almost match up horizontally, but there are some points where there's like a finger's width of difference between them. So that could be pretty annoying too. Oh, this is the portcullis, however you pronounce that. That's pretty neat. And I was looking at the textures that would match best with the steampunk ones if we're going to use it. So that's steampunk, and then the rest of these are Castles, Keeps, Fortresses, except this, which is from landscape blocks. That doesn't really work, I think. But the sandstone actually matches with color, and then the dark matter I think looks okay. And then this is the gate there for the drawbridge. That's obsidian. And I think obsidian does all right too. This drawbridge is pretty cool. Indeed. Anyway, so that's some of the pieces we have to work with. There's a few other building mods on here too, but I don't know if they'll combine with those at all. There's the Eco's stables, which I really want to play with, but I think that's going to need to be its own thing. And then there's also the Pimp My Home one, which makes the ultra modern building look, which if you haven't checked out Crackers recently, you should check out her most recent video with her little waterside resort that she's doing almost entirely out of that. So anyway, with these mechanics in mind, I'm going to go ahead and try to extend this up so you can enter from the front there. You can also enter from the lake here. I've got it guarded with this so that the rafts won't run into it and float to the top of them. But Blindymons has made some staggered ones where you can actually ride your boat up and then down. So that's neat. And there's some texture issues too when you put two pieces that aren't exactly the same together. But I'm still going to play with it because why not? It's just too much fun. And so in here, let's get out this guy. And let me quickly take apart this layer of what I've done. And just, we're going to see if we can just extend this column up further. Let me pick these pieces up. I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, I got all the water blocks up. And let me just take the rest of these glass ceilings down. I think I'm not going to need these. Yeah, so before the last update on this, to do this, I had to mess around with half walls because of the way the snapping worked. So hopefully we can just do this time. Now, two ways I could do this right now is I could either, let's get rid of the gun, put down the gun. We could try to put it exactly where we want it. So if we went up 2 like that, and then where did I put these? Got a lot of those. Okay. So we could try putting it right there, the top of that wall. Let me just come out a little bit. I tried to take most of these off just so I don't have conflicting snap points. So I've got a bunch of 12 high water blocks on me. So what happens? Whoa, if I fall down. Get back up there. All right, back up. I'm trying to see if I could snap it on here just like I showed you before. Like that. Okay, so is that going to match up well enough here? It looks like, see, there's just the slightest air gap there. And if I'm trying to swim up from one to the other, I think that's not going to let me. So I think what I have to do is overlap them. So you get this tool back in your hand. You can pick that back up. Just the regular water block piece that doesn't have the number on it. Okay, and then let's get the gun out again. Take that off and take that off. And then let's just take it down to here. And we're basically going to overlap by 1. I'm just testing this with you guys, so I'm seeing how it's going to go. Let me give myself a little bit more room. Come back here. Seems to like it when you get a little further away. And it's also trying to snap to the other water blocks too. I think I need a little bit more space. Get out on. And let me find... Oh, I saw it. I think once I get one of these, they'll snap to each other. There we go. All right, so that one would basically extend us up another 11 blocks if it works out right. Let's see. Let's pick this up and see if we can seamlessly go between the two. We can. A little extra texture overlapping. Oh, now it's not letting me up. Let me try that again. Yeah, see, I'm still kind of getting stuck in the overlap. So this might not be a working idea. But I want it to be taller. Let's see, let me grab a couple more of these. Will they snap to each other like this? Kind of, sort of, huh? Seems like, what are you guys doing? Where did that snap? That snapped next to that one. Okay. So that would be fine. And then this one, bring it out here. And basically, I think this is 3 by 3, so I'd need 9 more, or 9 total. Do this whole thing. But yeah, it's no good. Oh, see, now it works there. Let me see, get the whole thing filled in. And see if it's going to do us any good. Be right back. All right, I got the whole thing filled in. The 3 by 3. Let's see how that goes. So I was able to get up through it. There was a little bit of glitch there, and that is substantially taller. That really feels like you're up somewhere now. So that's what I want. Let's see, let's go back down here. Going down through them's not a problem. There was a little bit of a freeze frame going from one to the next. This is where it gets a little confused. Right here. Maybe if I... Oh, see, and I came through there. I wonder if I overlap them one more, if it'd be less of a problem. You swim around a second, it definitely lets you through again. But yeah, it's water blocks on top of water blocks. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit, but basically, I'm going to either say yay or nay on the double layer, and then I'm going to encase that in glass. And our real mission today is then working on doing something up there. What happens at that point? Woo! Who's attacking you?
It's Capro right there.
Just a wow. I think it's a wow.
Yeah, I get some capros.
Oh, snap. Yeah, that's at level 300 rhino we saw, so couldn't let it go away.
You guys rode it over here?
Hit my boat.
Oh, okay.
Just for me.
Oh, nice. Perfect tame.
Yeah.
Are you guys leaving it here?
Yeah, it's yours.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's awesome.
Said if you saw 300, you'd get one, so...
I
Sorry,
would.
the saddle's not better.
What? You didn't give me an ascended saddle? Take it back.
I thought I had a woolly mammoth descendant saddle blueprint. I might, but I don't.
Aw.
Is
And
it
it's
a
a-
mammoth or a rhino?
It's a rhino. And it's
Okay,
a
I got
girl.
the journeyman still here.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you all. I wanted to go tame it, but I felt like I need to make progress for the folks on this base here. Alrighty, folks. It's raining like crazy, but who cares? It's no matter. We're working in the water now anyway. So I did go ahead and double it like I showed you the first time. I left the scaffolding I was working with just as a little ornament there. See if I keep it. Just a little first dash of decorating it. And then, yeah, it's a little tricky when you get to the interface. And these ones were a little bit bigger than the other ones, and they don't mesh up quite right either. But I found if you just swim sideways a little bit, you get past that part. And then we come up here. So we're basically at where I was before, where I'm ready to extend off of this now. So let's go ahead and work on that. The idea I had is I want there to be sort of a pool that you swim into here, but not necessarily like just a regular size. Kind of make the edges a little bit randomized. So I'm going to do that work with these, just with some more of the glass ceilings. We're going to keep the glass part for the water, but then we'll transition to another material, probably one of the Castle Keeps Forts materials, like the dark matter or something like that. Once we get past this, maybe steampunk. I got to figure it out. But first, this will be the parts where the water goes. Oh, you're a different height. Why are you a different height? We'll have to figure that out in a second. But then off of this, I was going to do something like, so this is water. Maybe, I'm not sure. That would be, see, 5 by 5, 15. And then coming off of that, we'll do something like this. See how that works when we come over here. I'm going to run out of these, but so yeah, full ring all the way around, and then randomize it a little bit. And yeah, I'm going to work on that a little bit. Let me play around with it, and I'll see where I come to. I might need to do something kind of like this, and then these will all be little waterways. Now, actually, I should have done it one higher first. And I don't have a ceiling on me, do I? No, that's not a ceiling. Because I'm actually going to need the ceilings one higher to place them all of these. So, and then I got to figure out why this one's wrong. Anyway, let me play with it a little bit, and I'll show you what I came up with. All right, so that's what I came up with so far. It's subject to change, but trying to just give it kind of an organic look, the water coming out, and then not sure if I said it or not, but of course this is all going to be decorated with water plants and stuff, trying to make it look like a living thing. So now what I need to do is I've started extending up above these with more ceilings. And then, oh, where did I put all my water blocks? I think I must have put them down in this chest because they get quite heavy, actually. Yeah, so there we go. And then over here, now I just need to use that mechanic of how they place underneath ceilings to get them in there. Like that. And then I can take the ones off of the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that done here. I can just do it quicker like this. And then we're going to fill in around them. So they won't just be out floating like this. They're going to have a whole little... It's going to be blocked in around them with one of the other mods. Probably Castles Keep Fortresses, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll figure that out when I get there. One little thing I found too is that you can actually stand on top of these and place them quite easily. So that helps a lot. And you get that nice little splashy effect each time. So yeah, that makes this way easier. All right, folks, I'm still working on it, but now I'm on a ferry or a steamboat, steamboat ferry. What's going on, Crackers? This is Crackers' ferry. She's driving it in the most reasonable part down somewhere where she actually can't see anything that's going on. Whoa! It's the Saltine. Just named it. I just fast traveled over to her resort, which I didn't show you because she needs to show you herself first, but you'll see that in her next episode. If you watch the most recent one, you can pretty much see where it's going anyway. But she's driving me or sailing me all the way back around the map from her base, which is down in the south, because she's bringing me a load of fertilizer, which is awesome because I think there's a building piece that uses it that I want to use for the next part in the build that we're working on. So anyway, it's a little bit of a side, but it actually relates. So I just wanted to show you her fancy saltine. Thank you, Crackers.
No problem. See you guys.
All right, day is dawning again. I'm back here at my raft. And this is the workstation that goes along with the fertilizer I just got. This is from the Pimp My Home Building Parts mod. And it comes with a little sleeping megaloceros. It's around this little Hello Kitty. And this is supposed to be like a stack of the building part materials. So if we go in here, first it says, welcome. Freaked me out the first time. And there's a bunch of different stuff in here. Most of it goes with a real modern house look, which I'm not really into, but this one Crackers had. Oh, I just made a bunch more of them. Actually, I don't think I can carry those right now. I'm too heavy. But this is concrete ceiling number 7, and I'll show you what I want to do with that. Oh yeah, did it again.
Welcome. Goodbye.
So there's a way I think that's really going to fit in here, and I'll show you. Let me get up there real quick. So up here, I have settled on using that in conjunction with steampunk. The Castle Keeps Fort stuff, I had considered it, but I don't think it's going to work out because the wall heights are about 1.5 high. And I need this to be high enough or low enough so that I can jump out regular, and I don't want this to be isolated from the water below. So this is that concrete thing number 7, and this is the simplest of the steampunk ceilings, and then there's also the walls that go with it. So I like this. It's, the bolt together look of it I think goes well. It really makes it feel bolted together, which is what this would need to be to work. So I like that a lot. And you can see the pattern I've started. I'm going to make this go all the way around and fill in around the water shapes that I've created. They may alter a little bit, but I think that's going to be it. And then up top now, since this is going to be water, I'm going to have water plants in here. And maybe we'll even bring some tames up here with the fish baskets and stuff. So we'll have like fish actually floating around in there. And I can put these down, and normally this piece right here, it's got this like concrete edge, concrete ceiling number 7, but it has this this changeable textured organic layer in the middle. So it can be dirt, or it could be change material, or it can be sand, or it can be grass, or it can be rock. So we got rock, dirt, grass. Rock looks a little weird. But anyway, in combination with some of the decorative planting mods, the eco stuff, this would allow me to have a bunch of life around the water, which I think is cool. And with the steampunk mod, you can put it at this height. There's 2 heights for the ceilings here, but at the higher setting for the ceiling, you can put this down, and it's bordered really nicely by the whole copper bolting around the outsides. So I think that works really well. And I think it's what I'm going to go for on this layer, I've decided. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in, and then we'll see where I've gotten. It's going to take a lot of decoration and stuff, but this whole base is going to be a work in progress. So there's no one episode where the whole thing's going to get done. And my goal with this is try to create something that kind of works from the get-go, but that I can keep adding onto until I can't stand the frames anymore. This water blocks are real frame killers right now, and for some people with lower graphics, you couldn't even do it at all. It takes me down to about 30 FPS in this view. This way I'm doing a little bit better, about 58, 60 now. So, yeah, there's definitely a price to it, but I still feel like my game's doing all right. And we'll see where I can go with it. But I wanted to do something pretty outrageous. So this is definitely there. All right. So let me finish this up. And I think that's probably going to be enough for this episode. But I'm not there yet. So see you in a bit. Madman. Alrighty. Well, I worked on it most of last night. And it's the next day in real life. And I'll show you where I ended up. And then we'll pick up from there next time. But I just logged on, and I got this big old billboard here that says I left some gifts in the advanced rafts crafting station. So that's this thing right here. And inside of it, let's see what we got. It is a dino magnetic generator. This is actually one of my big goals for the steampunk thing. You put a trike on this, and it will power your whole base. It basically acts as a tech generator, which is fantastic and really cool and silly at the same time. And then over here is a S+ hatchery, which will be really handy. Now that we're going to have a base, we can actually do some real breeding. And the hatchery, of course, is indispensable part of the S+ mod for that. That and the nanny work very well together. So we got that, and these both came from Poseidon, it turns out. So thank you very much, Poseidon. Those are very cool gifts, and I'm gonna have to wait a little bit to use them still. Got to use the space, but we do have a lot of space around here, so got to make good use of it very soon. So let me get up here and show you what I did with this thing and my crazy project. Just laughing at myself a bit as I'm making this, because yeah, this is one of my more outlandish ones, and these water blocks are total frame killers, which is unfortunate, but I'm not taking it down yet. But some of my friends who don't have the best graphic cards are having a hard time with it. I found when I come up those ladders, that wet effect kind of goes away after a few seconds, so maybe I have found a solution for that. Anyway, this is what this looks like now. So it's a combination of all those parts I showed you. I've got the cubes made out of the steampunk walls and ceilings, the simplest ones. They are officially called the reinforced plain copper ceiling. And I guess this one's called, yeah, the reinforced copper wall. I played a little bit with whether or not I should change the models of the glass ceilings below the water to all blend in together like that, or to just keep the squares. And you can see I have both right now. I think I want to keep the squares because I think when you get rid of all the squares, it just looks like there's nothing there. And then from the bottom, it just looks like it's missing. I didn't like the cubicness of it, but I think it's necessary to kind of fill it in and give it some structure. And then I took those concrete ceiling number 7s and I put them all along the edges of the water here in places that would seem like they would naturally get wet from the water. And so in upcoming episodes, we got to do some gardening and put some plants on these and really create the full effect, and then make some fish baskets and put some fish in here and get real crazy with it. And this is just sort of the entrance to my base at this point. There is not much room still in all this space to actually do anything on or have any workshops or put many dinos. So it's going to have to extend up from here. And I'm thinking it'll be kind of like the bottom of a dome that kind of extends itself up that way in escalating platforms. So I got to figure out how that goes, but one will come off of here. I got to figure out how I can work off of these sides as well. So lots to figure out, but I've got to start. The concept has become a reality. Whether the frames will hold up or not with it, we shall see. I'll have fewer guests with it, that's for sure. But anyway, I think it's pretty cool. I'm definitely loving the possibilities and looking forward to when I really bring it to life. So anyway, y'all, this has been Monkey Puzzle. And thank you for watching until the end of this episode. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.